Before I get this review rolling, there are two things I really need to get off my chest first. But both of these things have quite an impact on this review. And first being that at $34.95, these are the most expensive gloves I've ever bought myself. And number two, I wasn't even planning on buying a new set of gloves. And then the other day, I was down at the bike shop, killing a bit of time while I was waiting on my homies, and decided to mess around with a few things that I had absolutely no intention of buying. That is, until I slipped my hand into one of these gloves. And then I just had to own it. They are redonks comfortable. They're like the most comfortable thing I've ever slipped my hand inside. And part of the reason why these gloves are so comfortable is because the fingers and palms are made from a material called Clarino. And while I was preparing for this video, I read a lot about the development of Clarino. And it was boring as fuck! So, I'm gonna make it brief for you. Clarino was developed in 1964 as a man-made leather with the structure and functionality of natural leather through the application of chemical technology. So fake leather that's supposed to be better than leather. Because murdering animals to put your hands into is more eviler than Skeletor. The back of the gloves is made from a sublimated 4-way stretch twill spandex that's both light as well as breathable. And it's bloody brilliant stuff. The finger gussets are also made from spandex, and this helps with both flexibility as well as comfort. The wrist cuff is made from a thin neoprene, which fastens with a standard Velcro fastener, the tab of which is made from a relatively flexible plastic. The fingers are covered with a tacky rubber coating, while there's not too much of it to be found on the palms. And there is only one layer of the aforementioned Clarino covering the palms, which doesn't provide that extra padding for comfort, and a little bit less cushioning should your ego meet your lack of skill. The gloves are also fitted with smartphone thread in both the thumb as well as index finger of both hands, so you're able to use your phone without taking off your gloves. And it all works pretty well. Let me just tap here, bring this up. Here's a picture of my mate Yaku Fasahi. He murdered that buck with a bow and arrow because he is no sissy. And because he's also not evil, he didn't turn it into a pair of hand shoes. He turned it into a rug. And of course the pro tip here is it doesn't help you with your fingerprint reader. It took me like a solid week to figure that one out. As far as longevity goes, I haven't owned the gloves long enough to be able to pass an informed opinion upon that. But mostly because I'm widely considered to be a professional and therefore have never crashed my bike. Oh fuck! Oh! And that is pretty much where my love affair with these gloves ends. Because there are a couple of things that I dislike about them. Starting with the FIST that's written across the knuckles. This is stitched on rubber lettering. And to be honest, homie don't like it. And now this may very well be me, but the Clarino that wraps around the inside of the thumb doesn't extend all the way to the end of the thumb. Now this is exactly where my clicker sits when I'm shifting down the cassette, precisely where the seam is. How this impacts longevity, I'm not able to tell you. But I don't be thinking it'll be in a good way. So I'll give these a solid 4.5 out of 5 Offenkeza. And a 10 out of 10 would definitely buy again. Oh, and did I mention, they also come in a vast variety of incredibly burnt colors. And black. They also come in black.